Hey everyone, thanks for joining me and welcome to part 2 of our Trello tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you how we use Trello to organize our editorial pipeline, and I'll also walk you through what it means to take an article from an idea to being published online. So to begin, you first need to just log into your Trello account. And once you've logged in, you'll be brought to this page here. And under digital and web content, simply click editorial calendar. So this is our editorial calendar. And basically on this board, we have our first list, which acts as a resource for our team. And then the next few lists cover the higher level aspects of creating content through the publishing stage. And then at the end over here, we have our list of article ideas, and I'd like to keep this all the way off to the right so it doesn't distract us from the editorial pipeline itself. So the first card on the things to keep in mind list is our monthly theme. On this card I've written out our Moderns theme for each particular month. Now I imagine some of these themes will change, but I'd like to stick to them as best we can. If you have any suggestions for that month, feel free to let me know. But otherwise, here it is, the next year's worth of themes. And after that comes the article guidelines card, and this is basically to help give you an idea of what we're looking for in content, help ensure that we're adhering to a similar standard, and give you some tips to help creating well-written content. So after that comes our writer checklist, and our writer's checklist, which is actually a fun little mnemonic device called Drift. I think it can act as a quick reference for article ideas and posts. Just really fast, 5 questions we can ask ourselves before we begin writing an article. 1, is this something that's going to be shared? Is it likely to be distributed? Is it 2, is it relevant? Does it fit into that particular month's theme? Is your article inspiring? Does it call people to action to inform them of something interesting? The 4th one, is it fresh? Does the article you're writing about have a unique tone of voice, or are we just rehashing something that that's been covered over and over again in the past? And lastly, is it timely? Is the article that you're working on relevant to what's going on in current national or international affairs, or does it follow current thought leadership trends? And is it something that's currently discussed in the news? The remainder of these cards here include our social media policy and editing standards, and our last card here is actually going to be for article post performance. So I'll be able to let everyone know how their article is performing across our different social media platforms. I haven't set this up yet, but once I get the correct APIs installed and links connected to the articles and the websites online, you should be able to check out how well something you've written is performing. So yeah, that's basically the list of things that you should keep in mind, and a few of these will, in particular the writer's checklist here, we're going to copy to each article idea that we're researching and writing and so forth here. So after that, up next here is our researching list, and which is basically just for brainstorming and outlining drafts of new article ideas and topics. So if there's a card from the article ideas list that you want to write about, just take the card and move it all the way over to researching, and then simply add your name to it. And you can do that by clicking Show Menu up here on the right, and then finding your name under Team Members. We'll do that way. So here we are. Or you could actually go into the card itself by clicking once and then add your name that way under Members. So let's see here. And yeah, so once you've added your name, that way I simply know who's going to be covering that topic and who's writing the article. And if there's a co-author, if you guys are working together, feel free to add your another person's name as well. And as you can see here, this is why it's important to upload a photo for your profile, it'll just make it easier to see who's working on what, and heaven forbid there are two people with the same initials. So that's that. Whoops, here we go. Oh, how do I remove him? Click there, remove from card. Boom. Right, yeah. So, and of course, if you have your own idea, the ones that I've added here are basic, for articles. These are just basically the ideas that I've come up with. But if you have something that you want to start researching on your own, and drafting, thinking of a new article idea, simply click here, add a card, and you can create, whatever you want to, whatever article, whatever thing you want to start researching or drafting is fine. So there you have, and then you can just add your name, assign it to yourself. So that's good here. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have a series of checklists to make sure we have a consistent process. So to copy a checklist to a new article, all you need to do is simply click checklist, copy from, and then under writer checklist, click drift checklist, and then add to that. So that way, as you're working on this article, you'll be able to walk through it and ask yourself these questions and simply check them off as you're going. Again, this might seem very basic, but it'll help keep us all on the same page and ensure that we're delivering meaningful content. So, and also, since each article will be included in a specific section of the magazine, do your best to categorize what you're writing about by selecting a label and picking which topic or topics you think work best. This simply adds another level of visual data to help see where everyone's at, and allows me to filter on the board by category to quickly surface the types of articles in the pipeline. So all you need to do is just pick whatever you're talking about here and add it to that. And to remove a label, I think all you need to do is just click here and uncheck that label. So we'll just go with that for now. And as you're researching and brainstorming an article draft, you can keep track of your work right on your Trello card by editing the description to maybe detail the particular angle of your topic, add a comment to the card, or upload any associated research files, content, or documentation, maybe an interview recording. You can do that right here in the card, and it's pretty easy to reference. You can also attach links to the card for easy reference as well. So, you want to add whatever you want here. And any document or file that you want to upload, you can upload right here by clicking attachment. So again, this way all the content will be on one card, and it'll be pretty easy to reference. And once you've done all your research and you're ready to start writing your article, you could move it from researching to writing. Right at the top of the writing list. And at this point, you should have a better idea of when you'll be able to submit your article, so you can go ahead and add a due date to the card. So back in the card, just click due date, and let's say you'll get it in a week from today. Click save. So that way, now that there's a due date, you'll receive a notification from Trello 24 hours before the article is due, which can be handy. And of course, now that you've added that date, your article will appear in the editorial calendar itself, and I'll have an easier time keeping track of when everything is coming out. So let me show you how that works here. So again, we just added a date, the 9th of May. Click calendar, and boom, there we go. So obviously no one else has done this yet, but eventually I'll have an idea. We'll be able to look at the calendar and see exactly what's coming up in the pipeline and what type of articles are lined up and when they're scheduled to be published. So when it comes to actually writing the article, I prefer that everyone on the team creates a Google Doc for their article. Google is just more accessible and rather smartly facilitates the collaborative editing of the content you're working on. And to use Google Docs with Trello, all you need to do is go to the card. Go to the card and click Google Drive. There we go. Then click Create Google Document. Well, create an attachment and create Google Document. You'll be asked to link your Google Drive account, and you can simply link your Modern Magazine at modernmagazine.co.uk email address. Yeah, just allow it. And after a second or two, it should, yeah, there we go. Excellent. So see, it's already created the article for you, and when you're ready to begin writing it, you can click Open in Google Drive. So as you can see, it's got the title that you've created and a blank document to begin working with. I just find this a lot easier for us to work with, and especially when it comes to editing, we'll be able to see each other's edits and make excuse me, some suggestions for your article. Okay, great. So that said, yeah, I guess if you do prefer using Word or even a text document, that's fine. Again, I just think Google's a lot easier for us to edit. But if you want, go ahead and use Word. Simply upload whatever file you've written your article in right here. You can click on from your computer or from your personal drive or Dropbox or Box, wherever the file is. Just you can upload it here. So that being said, I prefer to have the more nuanced editing of an article take place in the Google Doc itself, while higher level discussion about the goals, audience, and scope of the article can take place in the comments section of the Trello card. So maybe you could ask a question to me or one of the editors down here in the comment section. So for instance, say you're working on this and you want to know if I might have any idea of someone you could interview for the article. You could just write @Jason or whoever, and you can search for anyone to mention here. I've created a couple different demo accounts already. Do you know of anyone I can interview for this topic? Click send, and that way I'll get a notification, and then I'll be able to reply directly on the Trello card itself, and we could keep track of our notes and go back and forth right here on the card. So let's see here. Good. So once you're done writing the article, simply bring it over to the editing and graphics list. All you need to do is just drag it from there to there, just as you saw. And at this point, we'll take it from here. And either myself or another manager will add in your editor, so he can get a notification that there's a new article ready for editing. And once he's done editing, he'll be able to rope in our graphic designer, who will help add any art or graphics that should be included with your article. So it's pretty straightforward after this. Your name will still be attached to it as the original author, and you'll be able to follow its progress through scheduling and after it's published. And of course, once we're done editing and we've added the graphics we need and we move the article over to scheduled and eventually to published, at that point we begin promoting the article across all our social networks. And without going into too much detail of our marketing strategy, we like to include Twitter on the card to be able to track the article's performance on Twitter, just right here in Trello. So we'll actually be using a power up here, and I'll be able to link a particular Twitter post. Don't have any right now to show you, but you can check back once the article is published to see your article's progression on Twitter as we're promoting it. You'll see how many likes, how many retweets, tweets, and go from there. So that's basically it. Yeah, that's our workflow for our editorial calendar. I hope this has been informative, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me on Slack, or just shoot me an email, or even call me. I'm available pretty much all the time. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to working with you and helping to create some awesome content for the site. Take care, guys. Have a good one.